Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show, and it's time for your Leeds versus Southampton post-match chat. Leeds United finally won a game of football. The Javi Gracia era gets off to a flying start as Leeds United beat Southampton at home 1-0 and keep a clean sheet. I am absolutely over the moon. Please smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, and of course, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it.
I don't think I do it.
Arsenal started like a house on fire.
Signing number 2 for this new era.
It's Judgment Day, people.
Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt.
Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah.
Folks, Leeds United run out 1-0 winners and are out of the relegation zone. Southampton now 4 from safety. Everton being beaten. Bournemouth play later against Manchester City, so you can clock that one of us as a loss. And Leeds United sitting 17th. What were we all worried about? The only way is up now, baby. And I believe under Javi Gracia, we will start to climb up the table. 1-0 winners, 3 points. That's all we needed. That's all we need. We just needed a goal in that game. I think if we'd have got one in the first half, we'd have run out more comfortable winners. I think we well deserved it. You know, in terms of the momentum graph on SofaScore, it was all Leeds United. It was all Leeds United. Listen, it just didn't fall for us. But when you're down there, you know, so many times a ball would come in, it would drop, and it would fall to a Southampton player. Decisions maybe didn't go our way at times. But listen, I'm proud today. Junior FIRBERTO, Senior FIRBERTO, as my good friend JT said, he is finally coming to his own. Finally, we're going to say that a lot throughout this. Finally, we have a decent manager at the helm as well who can make changes in game that maybe leaves you scratching your head, that you look at and go, do you know what? I said on the Nonto one, people, why is he bringing Nonto off? Best player we've had. But he was getting tripled up on in that second half. You had James Ward-Prowse, Armstrong, and Maitland-Niles, who he was cooking in that first half, by the way. And then what happened is you bring on Cree, you bring on Harrison out on the left, and you open up the pitch a little bit more. You get more players involved. Rutter as well when he came on. Decent cameo. More of that, please. Could have had a penalty towards the end. It wasn't really, but he was getting into dangerous positions. Patrick Bamford again. Great centre-forward display from him. Okay, people say strikers are marked by the goals, etc. But he's going to play in that Troy Deeney type role that we've seen in that Watford side of Javi Gracia's. Mark Rocker came on. Glad to see him get minutes, because what I will say, McKennie and Adams combative, committed, but they're passing in that final third's poor. But I don't just think it's them. I think it's like a pandemic at the minute at Leeds United. We get into the final third and we shit ourselves. It takes a defender to come up and say, do you know what? I'll just have a pot shot at it. And Bazunu wasn't expecting it. It's really a goal that probably shouldn't go in, because maybe he's looking at passing it to Bamford. It's a well-worked goal. Chris Somerville involved in the build-up with the substitution on Nonto. Down the left-hand side, he's got Sekumar and another for company. He finds Harrison, who gives it to FIRBERTO. FIRBERTO hits it, speculative, ends up in the back of the net. But are you bothered? No. Are Leeds out of the relegation zone? Yes. Did we win a game? Yes. Did we keep a clean sheet? Yes. Move over. Move over managers that have come before. It's all about Javi Gracia now. And I've seen improvement there. I've seen people at half-time, you know, some journalists saying terrible game of football. I thought Leeds dominated. I don't know. Football's about opinions. I thought we looked okay. I genuinely thought we looked okay. And on another day, some of the chances that come fall to Leeds United players and we find ourselves more in front. I genuinely feel if we'd have got one in the first half, more goals would have come. I said 2 or 3-0. Okay, but we won the game. People say, who's going to score a goal, Joe? How are we going to keep a clean sheet? We did them all. We did them all. And we're going to start to climb up the table now. You know, that's what I genuinely believe. We need to add Rocker into the mix. We need to add Rocker because we need some more progressive passes from midfield. McKennie and Adams, like I say, in that first half, McKennie pressed. I think it may have been Jan Bednarak. Nicks it off him. You're like, oh, the game's opened up. There's a chance here for Leeds United. He plays it through to Aronson. Oh, my God, it's behind Aronson. Too many times the passes just went astray. But listen, this is a massive result for Leeds United in the context of the season. There are 14 games left, and we now find ourselves outside of the relegation zone. Yes, there are tougher tests to come, but wins are hard to come by for teams that are down there, you know, and that's going to continue to be the case for Southampton, for Bournemouth, for Everton, for everyone else who's down there. You know, we see Leicester batter Tottenham, then they lose 2. We see Wolves batter Liverpool, and then they lose some. Do you know, it's going to be up and down. It's going to be up and down. Forest aren't out of it yet. Forest are not out of it yet. Leeds United are far away from out for it. But what I'm saying is we've now got something to go on. You know, a new manager's come in the door. He's give them little tactical nuances. He's give them plans on the pitch. I liked when we were out of possession, we were playing with a 4-4-2, two banks of four, and then Aronson and Bamford up top. I think it looked okay at points. I thought we'd seen a good performance from Brendan Aronson, which we haven't seen for a very long time. I still think he needs to get on the weights. I still think sometimes his decision-making's a little bit off. There was one time in the second half, he beats everyone. He tries to beat Diallo, one too many, and he gets brought down because he's built like a Risley paper. Get on the weights, but again, a good performance from him. Jack Harrison, there was a load of people bemoaning him starting, but I did say before the game, just give them a fresh start. New manager, new ideas, new instructions, and he had a good performance today. He did towards the back end, 15, 20 minutes, start to falter. I think Leeds United started to falter, and we needed someone to come up trumps, and Junior Firpo was that man, who, by the way, as well, was amazing defensively again today. A few times, Voba, slack passes, who was on the cover? Firpo. It was the same against Everton. I said before the match, he was the only one that really turned up against Everton. And I was saying maybe it's because we're used to such poor performances. But now, no, he needs some respect put on his name. He's finally turned up. He's finally turned up. He looks good going forward as well. But defensively, he looks assured. He gets a goal today, was involved so much down that left-hand side as well. You know, and like I say, Somerville coming on for Nonto, maybe we're scratching our head, but I understood it because they were tripling up on him. You know, he had too much joy in the first half for Southampton's perspective. So next time he gets the ball, Armstrong Prowse come over. So do you know what? Javi Gracia's looked at it and said, okay, let's try something different. He brings on Somerville. He goes out to the right, Harrison out to the left. And then we see Somerville start to come into the game. You know, Kyle Walker-Peters came on, but Somerville and him had a decent battle. You know, like I say, Rutter coming on, 15 minutes, best cameo we've seen from him this season. Over the moon with his performance. Over the moon with Leeds United getting 3 points. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say we were amazing because we were far from it. But it's a good performance and one that was needed because guess what? That's all that matters. And we're now outside of the relegation zone. You know? Leeds have now won 5 of the last 7 league games when starting the day in the bottom 3. Winning 5, drawing 1. Losing 1. Mentality monsters, man. Let's be realistic. The mentality of the players today was good. It was terrible against Everton. Terrible against Everton. But there was no panicking today. No panicking. Even in that last 5 minutes, right? 5 minutes extra time. I don't know how the referee found 5 minutes, but he did. But Southampton didn't have a sniff. James Ward-Prowse was kept quiet. I would argue when he put him in the 10 or further upfield and had Lavia and Diallo, they totally lost everything from James Ward-Prowse. Thought Lavia had a good game. Bella Kotchap, good battle, obviously, between him and Bamford. But Bamford, for me, was good again today. Bamford, for me, was good again today. You know, for me as well, like last week, first time in like 8 years that the bottom 3 have all won. That's not going to happen all the time. And it couldn't have gone any worse for Leeds. This weekend, couldn't have gone any better. It couldn't have gone any better. Everyone else getting beat. And Leeds United winning. And now that's 4 points for Southampton to clamber back. Within 1 week, we're out of the relegation zone. Do you know what I mean? Everton win, it's like huge for them. They go and get beat by Villa 2-0 at home. And now Leeds United have got a point on them again. It's as you were. And trust me, there will be stuff, you know, there'll be sterner tests to come. We've got Chelsea in the league next. I think we have Fulham in the FA Cup. I'm not too fussed on the FA Cup, but listen, let's progress. Javi Gracia got Watford to 14th in an FA Cup final. Let's do it. Let's do it. Fulham are chasing Europe. Maybe they can rest players. We'll throw everything at them. You know what I mean? We'll throw everything at them. Maybe even, listen, I'm just happy. You know me. Someone said, play the European chant. Leeds United are back on the hunt. Listen, there's a long way to go, but it's a good start. That's all we ask. It's a good start. Max Forber and Robin Koch, by the way, rocks. You know I'm a big fan of Cooper, but there is a marked difference with them two. They look solid. Meslier looked solid again today. There was a bit of a dodgy one where Somerville tried to slice it in his own net and he headed it. It wasn't a bad pass, but it is what it is. But star man today, Junior Firpo, both defensively, going forward, and obviously he gets the goal that wins the game for Leeds United, and Leeds United climb out of the relegation zone. Do you know what I mean? If Carlsberg did Saturdays, we've won a game of football, people. We've won a game of football. Victor Orta was in tears. Just be quiet about it, though, yeah? No sack of the board. Let's all try and come together. You do that by being quiet, and let's just enjoy these moments, Leeds fans, because we're at the relegation zone. And the thing is, right, yeah, we've got Chelsea up next. Yes, we've got sterner tests. But the reason teams are down there are because they struggle to win games. So even at times when we're going to lose games of football, there's not always a guarantee those below us will. Because as I said, it was the first time in 8 years that the bottom three all won the same weekend. It doesn't happen very often. It was massive today. Relegation 6-pointer, and Leeds United come out on top. Renewed optimism with Javi Gracia at the helm. He came across well in his press conference. He got it right today. He got the subs right. And Leeds United picked up 3 points. Absolutely buzzing. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah. Final word, we'll be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Can't wait for that either. But smash a like on this video on your way out. Subscribe to the channel. Get your comments in. And hit that notification bell. All hail FIRBERTO Carlos. And of course, Javi Gracia.